Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 207. Tesla held their earnings call, and not only did we get some good numbers, but we also got a few bombshells. And Toyota's chairman, Akio Toyoda, former CEO, continues the clown show. And Tesla Bjorn did some winter testing of the Tesla Model 3, and guess what? No problems. And we got some more example of the German auto industry is in big trouble. And Tesla has just released the full self-driving version 12 to the public. And it's good. And the Model Y did become the best-selling car in the world. And Stellantis CEO has warned that a bloodbath is coming, and it's all Tesla's fault. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Tesla held their earnings call, and not only did we get some good numbers, but we also got a few bombshells. I did make a whole video about the earnings call, so if you want to take a deeper dive, check that one out, but here are some of the highlights. Free cash flow remained strong in 2023 at $4.4 billion, even as they focused on future growth projects with their highest capital expenditures and R&D expense in company history. Yes, the company, despite highest capital expenditure ever, and cutting price on their vehicles, they still have a strong free cash flow. And they added another $3 billion to their bank account. So now Tesla has $29.1 billion in the bank and practically no debt. So Tesla's war chest is looking stronger than ever. And Tesla made $96.7 billion in revenue in 2023, closing in on that $100 billion. That is 3 times as much as just 3 years ago in 2020. Energy business storage deployment reached 14.7 gigawatt hours in 2023, more than doubled compared to the previous year, up 125% in growth, while energy generation and storage business profits nearly quadrupled in 2023. Yes, profits quadrupled. Nice. But Tesla did also get a one-time non-cash tax benefit of $5.9 billion recording in Q4 for the release of valuation allowance and certain deferred tax assets. And that Tesla, of course, knew were coming, and that resulted in the biggest quarter net income in the company's history with $7.928 billion in net income. So Tesla ended the year off with $14.997 billion in net income. So it seems like Tesla is going to beat Ford and GM in net income yet again. But we still have to wait to see the result of Ford and GM, of course, but I don't think they will get anywhere close to $15 billion in net income. And if you want to see just how good Tesla's bottom line, the net income, really is, that really shows off how good the company is doing, well, here is James' little illustration of Tesla's net income over the years. And the last extreme rocket there that took off was, of course, helped by the one-time non-cash tax benefit, but still very impressive growth. So I guess all those price cuts were not so bad after all, because those price cuts resulted in that in 2023 Tesla delivered 1.2 million Model Ys, making it the best-selling vehicle of any kind globally. As they wrote in their earnings report, for a long time many doubted the viability of EVs, and Toyota still does, but their funeral. But today, the best-selling vehicle on the planet is an EV. The number 2 was Toyota's RAV4, and the third was Toyota's Corolla. This is such an impressive feat for Tesla. Not many people believed Elon when he said it would be the best-selling car in the world, but here we are. So no wonder that Ford is now talking about the Model Y in their ad for their Mach-E, as this is how it turned out in 2023. So Tesla grew the sales of the Model Y in 2023 with about 440,000 units, and Ford grew the Mach-E sales with about 1,300 units. Wow, what a competitor. And the Fremont factory produced nearly 560,000 vehicles in 2023, an all-time record, and also made it the most productive car factory in North America. The factory that Tesla bought for $42 million from Toyota. I think this will be a very nice symbol in the future. Tesla taking over from Toyota. But, time will tell. And Tesla's CFO also said that data suggested that around 90% of our vehicles buyers in 2023 never owned a Tesla before. So about 1.6 million customers Tesla has stolen from the competition. And Tesla has the most loyal customers in the industry, with roughly 67% of Tesla owners purchase another vehicle from the brand. So getting 90% of new customers in 2023 is a very good thing for Tesla's growth in maybe 3 to 4 years' time, when they might like to buy a new version, because almost 70% of those 1.6 million customers will likely buy another Tesla. But one of the bombshells was that Elon said the next generation vehicle will likely start production by the second half of next year. So next year Tesla will take its level in manufacturing to a league of its own. And I mean of its own. No one else will be able to catch up here until they can figure out how to make the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine. And the other bombshell was that Tesla expected to be shipping the first Tesla robots to customers next year. That is probably faster than any of us thought. Just crazy. But Elon did also say that we are between two growth waves, kind of waiting for the next generation vehicle and the Mexico factory and so on. But when this will be in place, Tesla will take off to new highs once again. So another record year for Tesla, with the best-selling car on the planet, with $30 billion in the war chest. Version 12 full self-driving is now out to the public. Next generation vehicle and humanoid robots coming next year. Boy, Tesla is looking stronger and better than ever. And if you, like me, are communicating with so many people in different languages through so many different platforms, I have found the perfect companion for your smartphone to make your life so much easier when it comes to writing. It's called Type AI and is the sponsor of this video. It is a keyboard extension app powered by ChatGPT API that works seamlessly on any platform or app on your phone. It's like having ChatGPT built into every writing app you use. So if you need to write an email to your boss or a message to your friend, Type AI can help with exactly that, from creating the script from a simple prompt, and it will write the text for you, to checking your grammar or to translate your text, as it has access to a lot of language thanks to the power of the ChatGPT built in, so you can in real time within the Messenger app write a message to someone that is speaking another language than you, without having to copy paste anything or open other apps and so on. So that's pretty cool. Or even change the tone of your text in real time within the app you are using, so making your email sound more professional to your business partner, or your message on Instagram sound more flirty, or just paraphrase your sentence you wrote if you're not happy with it. It even have ChatGPT built into the app itself, so you can ask it anything. So it is a really powerful keyboard tool and app to help you take your writing to the next level, even when you're just on your smartphone. So click my link in the description down below or scan the QR code on the screen for a free trial of Type AI Premium version. Then you can see for yourself just how useful this is for free. So get started today by hitting that link down below, and a big thanks to Type AI for sponsoring this video. Toyota's chairman Akio Toyoda, former CEO, continues the clown show and predict EVs will only reach 30% market share. It's hard to say with a straight face. And as he says, with the rest taking up hybrids and hydrogen fuel cells and fossil fuel cars, man, this is not going to age well. But he continues, with 1 billion people in the world living without electricity, limiting their choice and ability to travel by making expensive cars isn't the answer. But what he's forgetting is that EVs will become the cheapest choice, and that we are disrupting the grid and energy generation as well by decentralizing the power generation. So even small villages in Africa will be able to generate their own power with solar and batteries and bring electricity to the rest of the developing world. But the world's #1 car maker has pushed back against criticism of falling behind in the transition to EVs, saying that its pioneering hybrids drivetrain and hydrogen technology and holistic approach will ultimately prove to be the right approach for the business, customers, and the environment. So continue to burning fossil fuel will be the right thing for the environment. What? I think Akio Toyoda should stop smoking that tailpipe. He's not thinking straight. Firstly, pretty much the rest of the industry is going all electric. So if the Japanese end up being the only one making a different powertrain, it will not end very well for them. And then they try to tell the world that they will also be the leader in EVs with the new solid-state battery technology, saying they will come out with an EV that can go 1,200 miles on one charge and can charge up in 10 minutes. If that was true, why would anyone buy the more expensive and more polluting alternative? When it comes to hydrogen, I have talked about this technology many times in many videos, and it seems that every other month we have a new study or article showing hydrogen is dying left and right and it doesn't work. And this month is no different. The German bus and truck manufacturer MAN Truck and Buses CEO was out saying hydrogen is not viable. It is one thing to have the technology, and another thing is that the technology is viable. Green hydrogen is not available for transport, and it makes no sense to switch from diesel to hydrogen if the energy source is not sustainable. Exactly. And very expensive, I might add, as we need 3 times as much renewable energy to make hydrogen as if we just run our vehicles on electricity. So it will always be 3 times more expensive. No company in the world is going to make that choice. Yes, we want to spend more money. So MAN says hydrogen is not viable. Scania, one of the biggest truck makers in the world, says hydrogen is not viable. So it's not just Tesla that said it's not viable. We have some of the biggest trucking companies on the planet that have worked on these technologies for decades, saying it is not viable. So for Toyota to still pursue this stupid technology that is dying left and right, and here in Denmark completely gone and has never taken off, and Toyota themselves have called their hydrogen car Mirai a failure, and Toyota's engineer has even admitted that Elon was right, it is better to use electricity directly, and then they continue to waste billions of dollars on as many powertrains as possible. It is just stupidity squared. I really have no hope left for Toyota. They are truly being led down the wrong path from their leaders and will become the Nokia of the car industry. When they can, in 2024, come out and say BE will never overtake gas cars. It's already happened in all of Scandinavia and many other countries in Europe, and China is almost there as well with 32% plug-ins in 2023. And China has even pushed their target further along because the EV adoption is happening faster than they thought. So instead of 50% being new energy vehicles in 2030, they are now saying 45% in 2027. But Akio thinks everyone will just stop making EVs. Yeah, and he also is out saying that engines will surely remain. Sure, as a hobby, not as a main mean of transportation. As we already know today, the car industry has razor-thin margins on their ICE cars, but what will happen when they start losing their economy of scale? Well, that razor-thin margin is going to disappear and the ICE cars will get more expensive. Of course, they will not continue to make a product that they will lose money on producing. And BEVs are just the other way around, as they are gaining more and more economy of scale and battery prices continues to come down, so it will be the most affordable option within the next couple of years. And China is the biggest car market on the planet, and they are moving fast to EVs. Well, that will affect the whole industry, as without China's ICE business, everyone will lose some of their economy of scale. Toyota seems to be a completely lost cause. Like I made a whole video about, Toyota has made a plan to fail, and they just don't see it themselves, as they are suffering from paradigm paralysis. And a place we already got a glimpse of the future is Norway, as they are basically already all EVs, even though we still have 1 year to go before they will be the first country in the world to make a ban of new ICE sales. Norway did put a very ambitious timeline for the ban of ICE cars, but with 82.3% of BEV market share in 2023, it seems very doable to make a ban of ICE cars in 2025. And don't forget, if this is a glimpse into the future, Tesla had 20% market share of the overall car market in Norway in 2023. Just saying. But how can Norway's grid handle it? I hear all the time that the grid can't handle it. Well, not all grids are created equal, of course. So yes, Norway does have a good and strong grid, but energy demand for EVs in Norway amounted to about 1% of total demand of the grid in 2023. The Norwegian Energy and Water Directorate estimate that even if all vehicles, both passenger and commercial, were electric, their demand would still only make up about 10% of the total electricity demand. And most of those cars will charge overnight, where there is no high demand for electricity. Norway has the advantage of having a strong grid already in place, since the country relied almost exclusively on hydroelectric power to heat its home. So this is truly not a problem, as the grid in most countries are also being disrupted and built out as we speak, and people need to know how to live an electric vehicle as well. Like in Norway, in the beginning, people had a tendency to start charging in the evening during peak hours. Now, that just seems stupid, as this would of course be the most expensive time to charge up your car, but Norway also handled this by increasing the electricity price during peak hours. But people also have a tendency to forget that more and more people get solar and batteries. Like my neighbor that has got some solar and batteries, and he could show me that even on a cloudy winter day, about 75% of their energy was generated by themselves. So that is 75% of that house that is suddenly off the grid, helping the grid, even with their electric car in the garage. So people forget that the grid and the energy sector is also being disrupted, not just the transportation sector. But for people and companies like Toyota to think that BEVs will never get above 30% is just ridiculous. So if we take Norway as an example, we can see that they did go from about 15% to 80% in just 6 years. And I have shown many times before, a lot of other countries here in Europe's EV adoption is happening much faster than they did in Norway. And even much faster in China, the biggest car market on the planet. But all of Europe in 2023 had almost 15% BEV market share. So it is definitely not unlikely that we will see BEV market share of at least 80% by 2030. In China, they are already at 25% BEV market share, so they are even further along than Europe. And as we know, China and many other countries are making the EV adoption faster. So I personally think BEVs will be at least 80% in 2030. But hybrids and hydrogen and diesel and gas and all the other mild hybrids and so on have to fight for that last 20% of the market. That will eventually go away. Do you really think that the ICE business is still a profitable business when it has lost like 80% of its market? So we don't really need to get to 100% BEVs before ICE will disappear, because it will no longer be a viable business case. Just look at Norway. Both Hyundai and Volkswagen announced that they would stop all sales of new ICE sales in Norway, even though the ban was not there, and even though their BEV share was about 80%. So I highly doubt that we will see much new car sales of ICE cars after 2030. And as Elon said in the earnings call, if countries don't set up some kind of safeguard, the legacy automakers will be demolished by the Chinese. So the legacy automakers might not want to do 100% BEVs by 2030, but the Chinese have other plans. And together with Tesla aiming to produce 20 million cars in 2030, well, this is truly a bad cocktail for the old guys. And Toyota, they don't even want to try. They are just crossing their fingers, hope that somehow the EV transition will, by some miracle, suddenly just stop. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Matthias shared on X. Thanks to solar and wind, Austria had 87% renewable share in the electric mix in 2023. Austria have the luck of having the river Danube, or something like that, flowing through the country. With water from that river, the share of renewables was always high, but thanks to wind and solar, it is now starting to closing in on the 100% mark. And in my country, we had 81.5% of our electricity coming from renewables. So no, my EV does not run on coal, but sunshine and wind. As we do not have much hydropower in my country as in Austria, but a lot of wind turbines. But Norway also has a lot of hydropower, so as with the EV revolution, Norway is leading the way when it comes to renewables as well, with 98.9% of electricity coming from renewables. And Tesla Björn did some winter testing of the refreshed Model 3 in Norway with cold temperature as low as minus 24 degrees Celsius. And because he preheated the battery on the way to the charging station, the car always just worked. Except when it went to an Ionity charger, Volkswagen's Dieselgate charging network here in Europe. He could only get a charger to give him 21 kilowatt of charging speed, but then he just went over to the Tesla Supercharger and it charged with 240 kilowatt speed. So again, winter, no problem for EVs. Remember, your ICE car also have problems in cold weather, and to keep that one warm, you have to pollute the air around you. It is not even legal in my country to have your car idle for more than a minute, because you are just polluting the air around you and your children. So even though we often hear, well, my 20-year-old car can also preheat, well, not without spitting toxic gas out in the face of everyone around. So yes, you can always find one example of something going wrong, but overall, EVs works great in cold weather. I have been doing so for 5 years. If you have not seen my little 3-part series I did up through Norway a couple of years ago, you can check that one out. And Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has warned that a bloodbath is coming if EV makers follow Tesla and Elon Musk in the race to the bottom. As he said, if you just go and cut pricing this regarding the reality of your cost situation, it is a race to the bottom. A race to the bottom will end up with a bloodbath, Tavares said during a virtual presentation, and that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. But Tesla is not just cutting price regarding reality, but dear Carlos, Tesla is still earning money on the EVs. Yes, much lower than before, but still earning money, so they can easily do this and not be in trouble. But yes, I know you will be in trouble because of this, as your EVs are already uncompetitive, and because of Tesla's price cuts, they are also non-competitive on price. So yes, not many will buy your EV, but I have no doubt that Tesla's Model Y will become the best-selling car in 2024 in Europe once again, and the bloodbath we will see is from legacy automakers starting to bleed out. And Volkswagen continued to show how bad their EV software is, as Stecker Auto showed on X. The ID.7 from Volkswagen seems to think it's a gas car, as the navigation is cluttered with every gas station location. And when the Volkswagen ID.7 ignition isn't switched on, you can look at this beautiful clock. Firstly, if you have only been driving Teslas or EVs, you probably don't even know what ignition means. But secondly, look at this beautiful design clock here. If you make it look this bad, why even bother? This just makes the car feel cheap. And when you try to do something in the car, it says that only possible when the ignition switched on. This is just so badly designed, it's hard to take them seriously. And it's becoming more and more clear that the German auto industry is in big trouble. Now we see some more suppliers need to cut jobs. The German supplier industry is on the brink of a massive job cuts, as a weak economy, high inflation, and the move to electrification creates a need for savings. ZF Friedrichshafen, Robert Bosch and Continental are among the country suppliers looking at staff reduction as the auto industry rapid transition to EVs and software-led vehicles increases cost. ZF, which is highly indebted, could axe up to 12,000 jobs in Germany by 2030, according to the supplier's labor representative, just as Herbert Diess warned them about. Move too slow to EV transition and many jobs will be at stake. Stefan Bratzel, director of Center of Automotive Management in Bagage Gladbach, said he was not really surprised by the news, as the consequence of the auto industry's rapid transformation are only now becoming apparent. I'm afraid this is just the beginning, he said. In this decade, we expect a 20% decline in the numbers of employees a car manufacturer and supplier in Germany. But if you get fired, remember Tesla is hiring. So many jobs available all over Germany. And I did make a video about Tesla releasing the full self-driving version 12 to the public. So if you want to take a deeper dive, check that one out. But this is very, very important, as this is basically it. This is the architecture that should get us to full self-driving, as we have a neural network in and control out. We don't have to worry about a local maximum anymore. It is all about feeding the system enough data, which Tesla has a lot of, and a Dodo computer to go through all of that data. And during the week after many test drives by Homar's catalog, he made a little video on X and just wrote, "It's so effing good." And Elon replied, "Full self-driving version 12 is a breakthrough." And the same week we saw South Korean's biggest YouTube auto reviewer experience full self-driving from LA to Las Vegas for the first time, and he said, "Full self-driving is amazing. It drives better than humans today already." And no, that was not even version 12. And Homar's made another 20-minute video of his Model S driving from parking lot to parking lot with no intervention.
Once again, FSD 12 has taken us parking spot to parking spot with zero intervention. That's what it does most of the time, even with the super early build. Curb to curb, parking spot to parking spot with no interventions. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be a very fun year. And Tesla has named Teresa G. Smith as the country manager for its EV offensive in Mexico, as its new Gigafactory in Nuevo León is moving closer to starting construction. Nice. And if you think only Silicon Valley people are buying the Cybertruck, well, Kathy Smith said, "Yeehaw! Picked up my Cybertruck today. You all think we are the first backcountry rednecks to get one? What a kick. It drives like a spaceship." Yeah, just for the Silicon Valley people. Right. And we have seen a lot of Cybertruck deliveries, and Tesla should have delivered more than 680 now. So closing in on Hummer EV sales already. And we did see Tesla have made a submarine. Okay, maybe not a submarine, but nice to see you can do this if you are in an emergency. And to the people that are not optimistic about Tesla's energy business, well, look at this little video. And I think, how can you not be optimistic after watching this? 326 megapacks ready to get out to customers. This is something like $500 to $600 million worth of megapacks right there in one shot. And to the people that think that CATL can just undercut Tesla because they are making the battery cells, well, CATL doesn't have Tesla software, and not just AutoBidder, but more importantly, Tesla's virtual machine mode. Without this software, an economy run on 100% renewable energy will not be possible, according to energy providers that have tried it and it didn't work in Australia. They said they would never build a grid on 100% renewable without Tesla's software. So it's not just about batteries. In the future, it will be even more about the software. And CN had a little video about Pepsi and the Tesla semi-truck.
PepsiCo is among the early adopters of electric semi-trucks as part of their goal to be carbon neutral by 2040. In 2022, they made a big splash as the first customers to receive the Tesla Semi.
We want to deploy zero-emissions vehicles, reduce our carbon footprint, but we still got to make sure we can run our operations and deliver our goods across the country.
Pepsi operates about 21 Tesla semis out of their Sacramento distribution center. Their goal is to work out any operational challenges that come with replacing diesel-powered trucks, which can cover more than 1,000 miles on a tank.
These trucks can run up to 500 miles on a single charge. in a single day. So between 2 drivers, 1 truck, 24 hours, we were able to run 1,076 miles on a single electric truck. So we've got 750 kilowatt chargers here in Sacramento to allow us to charge those trucks quickly.
Some PepsiCo drivers seem to like it.
The Tesla is just very quiet and smooth. You can hear things that you wouldn't hear in a diesel because you have the engine noise, and the perspective of driving in the center, you have a better view of the road.
And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a big shout out to all my supporters, my patrons, YouTube members, and executive producers. Could not do this without you guys. Yes, thank you so much for your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. The best advertisement we have got for Tesla's Cybertruck was caught on camera this week, and that's where I found out that Tesla had delivered over 680 Cybertrucks so far. Enjoy.
That's freaking awesome, man. How'd you get it?
CGI in real life.
No kidding. Oh, man, I can't wait.
I got lucky.
Did you?
I picked it up yesterday.
Are you serious? Wow, so they are coming out. I just heard about the 10.
This is VIN number 680.
Wow, 680. This is incredible. I can't believe this. Yesterday you picked it up?
I'm on the way to Florida.
Oh, man, that's so awesome. How many looks are you getting?
How many am I not getting?
Oh, that's incredible.
Cybertruck.
How's it drive? Is it everything you wanted?
It's going to blow your mind if you get one.
Oh, no kidding.
It's worth it. If they said give it back or pay double, I'd pay double.
No kidding.
100%.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yep.
Oh, I love the tires.
Yep.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Stern,
How's the turn? Is it really tight?
incredible.
Yeah?
This is my Ford Tesla, and it's by far the best.
Oh, man. I can't wait. I've never owned one, but I will. I'll own it.
Best cars in the world.
Awesome.
Good luck, brother.
All right, thank you. No.
That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheet also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.